It's the next day, and my weight is 304.6, so I lost 3.1 pounds overnight. Weight is crazy. Weight is crazy. Okay. Oh, the horror! 5 minutes later. And now we are ready to take the Poochie to the vet. Take the Poochie. The Poochie. Are you ready to go to the vet, Bear? No? You want to go car ride? Car ride? You're so cute. Donned my Halloweeny winter cardigan and my ace hat from the Pride Parade, or Pride Festival thing that we had in October. It was the first one I've ever been to, but yeah, I got my little hat. Alright, now we're on our way into another city. Good boy, good boy. We're at the vet. You gotta get your Bordetella shot. I know you're not excited about that. But guess what else? You're gonna get your nails trimmed. Yeah? Your nails trimmed. And a little bump looked at on your leg. And they'll probably give you a doggy treat. You like doggy treats. Yeah, you're always very good for them. Aren't you, buddy? My husband told him to lay down, so he did. He's so good. You're a good baby. We're going to find out if you're underweight. If he is, it's me, because I actually started measuring more correctly. So I was probably giving him a cup and a half of food instead of just a cup a day. From me. So it is 10 o'clock and I am outside of the IHOP right now. I'm going to go in there and get their Veterans Day meal, which is, you'll see it in a minute, so I don't have to explain it. My little Poochie Poo is done with the vet. He was very good. He got a little treat in there. She said his weight was actually perfect. Like, it's the top for his. He's supposed to be between 70 and 75 pounds. He was 75 pounds, but she said he's, like, very muscular. So she was talking about, like, the part, like, where his ribs were at and everything. He's like, he's perfect. He doesn't need to gain or lose. So I was like, okay, good. We're doing good. But his coat was a little dry. So she said to give him, like, some omega-3 pill capsules or fish oil capsules. Another thing that you can do, and I had mentioned it, but she said the fish oil and stuff was even better, but like a spoon of coconut oil. He really likes coconut oil. It's like he's getting a little treat. And she said if his stomach does grumble, because that's what my husband was worried about the other day, his stomach was grumbling, even though we have him on a strict feeding schedule. So, like, he gets food at 8, he gets food at 3. If you're curious, it's 1 can of dog food, and then, like, 1 can of dog food, and then, like, 1 cup of, dry. It's better for the teeth when they have the dry in there, too. But, of course, this one's Pampered Pooch. He hated just having dry, so we had to start getting cans. But anyway, she said a can of green beans is very low calorie, and it's okay for dogs. So, she said if he's grumbly, we can give him some green beans. And he doesn't normally get any table food except for a little pinch of shredded cheese whenever I use it. He hears that bag open and he comes running. But anyway, I'm going to go here and get breakfast. I've already looked it up online. The calorie-wise, it does kind of vary, but we'll see what mine is. It's still going to be in range for today. I'll calculate it while I'm waiting for it to be delivered to me. But, and my husband, if you're curious, where in the world did he disappear to? He is at the doctor's office because his ear was feeling messed up. So I actually have to go in here and be pretty quick because I don't think it's going to take him forever at the urgent care. So I'll check in a minute. It is 11 o'clock now. There was quite a wait to get seated and then food. But Hubs wound up getting done with the doctor early, so I like kept our place in line and then went and got him, and then we were next right when we got here. So he had a chicken biscuit, and then I had all of this, and it's like 630 calories. I'm not eating the hash brown, so I did not count that. and the calories, so just the bacon, the eggs, and the pancakes. So we'll see how much I can actually eat. I might need to go bucks. Here's my leftover. I am already full, and I gave him my hash brown. So there was a mysterious extra half piece of bacon, so I need to log that. It is 2:40, and I am hungry again, so I am going to eat this, which is the leftovers from breakfast. So I'm not having new calories. I'm just keeping it on the morning log. But anyway, I got a little bit of a headache, and my shoulders and neck are still super tired from yesterday's workout for some reason. I told you in the last video, sometimes my recovery takes a lot longer than it would normally take, and this is just one of those days. And my energy level is super low, so we'll see how I feel after I eat, and hopefully I'll have a little more energy. It is 4:53, and I'm hungry again, so I'm going to have my dinner. And it is a pulled pork sandwich on garlic bread, and then 1 pack of the barbecue sauce, and then corn nuggets. So definitely not the healthiest, but it's Veterans Day. So in comparison, last year I came back with an entire fridge load of free food that I got, and I ate it over the following 5 days. And even shared some of the meals with my husband and stuff. This year I was much more disciplined, so I did the IHOP with my husband, even gave him the hash brown because I didn't care about it, so I was like, not going to eat calories I'm not excited about. So I gave him that. I had water at IHOP, so that was no calories, nothing. Had leftover of that because I only ate half the pancake, not even half, so I had that for like my lunch, and then now I'm having this for my dinner. And I am glad that it's a high volume amount because there will be temptations later tonight. So I am going to a meeting in an hour, and then after that meeting I'm going to another place that is going to have a lot of food, including desserts. So I was like, yeah, I want to make sure I'm going to be hungry. I mean, not hungry, full for the next 2 hours so that I am not going to be super tempted by the food that's at the other place. I will allow myself to have one of the desserts because it's within my calories if I'm hungry. But if I'm not hungry, I just need to leave it on the table. But yeah, I still have, so I'm at like 2,000 calories for today, which might seem like a lot to a bunch of people. But I have a smart scale, which I forgot was smart, so I just used it again today, and I'm like, you're kidding me. I've been paying to go get weighed on this special scale, like $15, and I could do it every day, and it has an app that goes to my phone, and my scale tells me all the information. So I will probably do the other one more time where I pay for it, just to see how close it is to what my home scale is. But on that, it has my BMR, which is basically like your BMR is like what your body needs, your basic metabolic rate. I can't remember if it's TDEE or the BMR, so I might have them switched, but I think it's the coma calories. Like your body needs that many calories just to get by. So yeah, if I were to stop with this meal, I would not even have eaten enough for that. So my thing is I want to make sure I'm not restrictive. Even if I am super full, I want to make sure I'm getting at least like 1,800 calories in, because I'm going to pay for it the next day. If I don't, I'm going to be tired and just like, ugh. Today, yeah, I've had no energy when we got back. Literally all I have done since I've gotten back from being out and about is sit in my computer chair and watch YouTube videos and put together 300-piece puzzles on the computer. That is it, because I've had no energy, not even mental energy. And the neck and shoulder pain has been pretty severe. Last night it was pretty severe. I had a lot of trouble trying to get comfortable to go to sleep. I did not have good sleep last night. I did not sleep for very long. So that was like 2 nights with the first night I think I got like maybe 5 hours, and then last night I might have got 6. Um, so that's not good. So tonight when I get back, I really do need to like do an early in bed type thing, and I need to try to do better with the water. Right now, I am on my 3rd bottle. Um, this is technically only the 2nd bottle, but the other one that I'm counting is the IHOP because I did drink almost all of it. So I'm on my 3rd thing, which is the same amount of like fluid ounces that I had yesterday for the whole day. So I'm hoping that I'll finish this one with dinner and then one more before bed. Um, but yeah, the energy is like no. And that's one of the other things too with like documenting all of this. I do have like medical conditions and disabilities and stuff, so I think it's important to show all of that. And then still like trying to stay on the goal despite it, and also being realistic when it is like special occasions. So for me, Veterans Day is like a holiday. Like it is my birthday. It's not my birthday, but it feels like one because I get free food everywhere. So yeah, this year I picked up my 2 vouchers. I got my Rooster Bucks and I went and I got the Texas Roadhouse stuff. This is the first year I didn't go to Olive Garden because I was so fatigued when I got home. I was like, I am not even willing to get in the car and drive to go to the Olive Garden and eat a bowl of soup and come back. Not even. So yeah. So I've got fibromyalgia, I've got hypothyroid, which both make it harder to lose weight in different ways. Fibromyalgia is because you're going to have the fatigue every once in a while, the longer recovery, which makes it harder to like get out of bed and want to do exercise and stuff like that, but also just like doing less movements and stuff throughout the day because your body is exhausted, so everything is an effort. And then with the hypothyroid, my levels are good, like my medication is where it's supposed to be. Um, but it makes it harder to lose weight. Like that's just a thing with the hypothyroid. It like messes with your metabolism. But anyway, and I have ADHD, so that's another thing, and OCD. So the OCD, I have to be careful with not becoming too obsessive with like numbers and planning and like being too honed in on it, because then that's going to lead to more stress, and stress leads to like cortisol, and that just makes you cortisol is not great if you're trying to like lose weight and get healthier. It's like a stress hormone. It's not good. Um, yeah, and the ADHD, I'm a picky eater. There is a correlation with that. But also food is like an easy source of dopamine. So whenever you don't have like the normal amount, it's a go-to. Now I had been off my medication for a little while. I started back on like half of my full dose. So I'm going to finish off the rest of that bottle and then I'll go up. But with that, I can be hungry on that medicine. Like my stomach can be growling, but I have zero appetite. So it can make it even harder to eat. So yeah, because before I ate the leftover pancakes and stuff, my stomach had been growling for like an hour, and I was just like, I don't even have the desire to get out of the chair and walk to the kitchen to go grab it. So it had been a while before I ate it. And it did not make me have more energy after eating it. Yeah, my body is what hurts. And when my body hurts, then my mind is like, I can't function because all I can focus on right now is like pain. So my husband's been in here a couple of times and I'm like, please massage my neck and my shoulders. They're so stiff. But anyway, I'm going to eat this and then I guess you'll get some clips of the rest of what I'm doing tonight, but it's probably going to be an early night and I might not post this video until tomorrow because I don't even know that I'll have the energy to edit it together. Okay. Okay, so these next clips right here is of the Democratic meeting that I went to, because we meet like every month, and so there was one speaker that came in to tell us how he had won Democratic election multiple times in a deeply, deeply red, not only county but city. Uh, and so, yeah, he talks about that. He won his first election, I think he said in like 1991, and served 5 terms. So it was interesting to hear from him how he went about that and some of the questions that he got when he would go and talk to people that were not already Democrats to try to vote for him. And then when one of the people asked about, how do you think the location has evolved over the last 25 years that he's been doing this job, one of the people kind of butts in and asserts her opinion, which I think a lot of people will agree with her opinion. And others provide a little more nuance to her opinion, but I think that, it makes sense that some people feel this way. And so I wanted to include both because she's not trying to filter anything. She doesn't have any agenda. So these are the kind of dramatic moments that can happen at a Democratic meeting. You will not see anyone's face, and I'm not identifying anyone's name or the location itself. You'll hear that it's at a library because there's the comms or whatever. But I'm going to take out anywhere where it mentions the specific county.
Yeah, I never was bashful, but I got a whole lot less bashful going from house to house, and I met people that knew me that I didn't know and tell me stories about my family, this and that, and they would come up with questions sometimes, ask me what I was, and I'd tell them I was a Democrat, and they would want to talk about abortion. They always throw that at the Democrats, and I try to tell them, at the circuit clerk's office, we have nothing to do with it. Driver's license, file small things for you, but we don't have anything to do with abortion. And he said, would you help me when you get off work? And I said, gosh, dang, Henry. I said, I don't want to, but I will. And he said, well, I don't have any bull. I was just testing you. I'm going to vote for you.
Oh, my goodness.
But he was testing me, so I'll take it. But somehow I was successful. I won. It was like Bush that year. I wrote these down. I stopped by the office to get my good little sister and made me a scrapbook of all this stuff. And I'd say this before I forget. My son was a little guy walking around, and my wife, she's kind of pretty. And I used my kid like and take him around to the little the fire departments would have these benefits, fundraisers and all, and he's all petting on my kid and stuff. And yeah, I used him. Made him earn his keep. But Bush, 4,415 votes, and Al Gore got 1,950. So he was beat by 2,465 votes. And somehow I got 3,325, and my opponent got 2,943. So I beat her by almost 400.
That's slim margins.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I wish I could tell you that it was because of my competence and all this stuff, but I mean, my opponent, when I think back, she knew 20 times more about that office than I did. But I want to think it's because I treated people right all my life. I tried to. I don't know how it is. It's just I've been here. I'm in my 5th term right now, and I can't But, and I'll take, people, I go hang out, my buddy runs a little garage over on the north side of town, and every time I walk in there, there's that no good Democrat. I'll take a little fun ribbon, but I'll only take so much. When it gets ugly, I blow up, I guess, but,
Well,
I don't know.
can I ask, have you seen a change
Yes,
in the 20 years?
yes, drastic. It's gotten ugly and nasty, I think back when I was small, I could go to a Methodist church and a Baptist church, and I couldn't tell a lot of difference as a small child. And that's the way it was when we grew up, I think. I mean, my dad's best friend, a Republican, lived down the road, and he was just like us, and they laughed and talked, but it's just got so negative and ugly in the last, brutally honest, ever since kind of Trump's been around. It's just ugly.
The ugly came out when Obama was elected. I mean, I've worked in service jobs all over this town. I know what was said about that president.
Yeah.
And things, and that's how Trump, to me, got in office last time, because they didn't want a smart black woman running this country. It's a racist thing, in my opinion, anymore. GOP stands for racist. Guardians of pedos, all of it. Look how many people, elected Republican officials, are out there indicted on child pornography. And people, I'm not saying Democrats don't do it, not one bit, but there's sure a whole lot of nastiness going on. And it's out there. The stuff that we used to talk about, that was talked about behind closed doors, came out when Obama was elected.
If we keep it to the local level though,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking.
No, we are talking local level.
Well,
The hate and the racism in this town.
Yeah.
And as a witness, as in clerk at the junior food, clerk at the school, clerk at the bank, clerk at the restaurant, people that look at you like you don't matter, they'll say anything. And it is from people who are college educated, smart people I admire. And that kind of stuff. And I don't go around saying, hey, spill your hate on me. But it's okay for them to say it. And to me, if we don't push back on some of the hate that's in this town, because that's what it is. If I know this is uncomfortable, I really do. But it needs to be said, because I've seen it. I've seen it from teachers, I've seen it from bankers, I've seen it from villagers, I've seen it from managers, I've seen it from everywhere. And no, is everybody bad? No, they're not. But where is the good? Why aren't people speaking up? I want to know, why didn't we have a No Kings March here in?
Well, I'm trying to get to that point.
I mean, if
But I
we
haven't-
don't address, and people don't take change well, but if you give them little tiny pieces of information at a time and don't overwhelm them, you can change people's opinions and their hearts. And if we don't do this, it was like, and to me, I lost my son, I don't have no grandchildren, I don't have no family. I don't care if this country burns to the ground. I'm gonna sit back and say, I hope y'all got what you wanted. Because there's gonna time, they're not gonna be able to blame anybody but themselves. And am I angry? Yeah, when 7,000 people in this community voted to take women's rights away, and nobody got a problem with that? I just feel there's ought to be some pushback, period.
I hear for Veterans Day, the Democrat meeting went an hour long. So it's over. So my VFW hat finally came in. I'm not showing you which one. That's why I got my finger over it, because it has the number, and I don't want you to be able to look up what city I'm in. But anyway, and then I also got the t-shirt. This is the back of it for the same reason, but it's also the designed part anyway. So, yeah. I did not eat anything there. All they had for dessert was like a half slice of banana bread, but it also kind of looked like cornbread. So I was like, what is this? So I didn't get anything because I was like, I can come home and I can either have a little frozen treat like Italian ice, and they're like 100 calories, or I can make myself like a yogurt bowl with granola, which was what I might do. But I also did not finish all the food I showed you from dinner. It was too much. So I still have a little bit of corn nuggets, so I'm going to warm those up so that I can eat them and finish the show that I was watching before I left. I've just been binge watching the Nobody Wants This show, so who knows what will happen. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Today's an easy day because, again, high pain day, no mental energy either, so I just did what I had on my like show up list. Like you have to show up to these places. I did that and that was it. And that is a good day. Good day. Right, it is 8:55, so I'm going to go to bed soon, but I was still over 500 calories under my target, and I'm not wanting to lose any muscle, so I don't need to lose more than 2 pounds a week, because that will lead to muscle. So anyway, I want to get as close to the 2,500 as I can each day, but this is 301 calories because I measured it like to the gram, so that's how much this is. I even did it with a spoon in there because there's stuff on the spoon. But anyway, it is 100% 100% Greek yogurt, no flavor. I don't actually like the taste of yogurt. I'm a super taster, and it's just very like tarty or sour. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like the taste of yogurt. But it is really high in protein for like low quantities. So anyway, I did like half of this is the yogurt, and then I have powdered peanut butter to get a little bit more and to also flavor like the yogurt. So I started all the yogurt up with that. It was like 4 grams of the powder. And then I have mixed berries. So there is fresh blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries in here. And then I have some granola, and the granola also has like little tiny pieces of apples. And then on the very top is the Hershey's chocolate syrup, but it is the zero, I guess it's the zero sugar or something like that. It was literally all of that you see on top, none's mixed in. All that you see on top was 4 calories. So like, it is not like a 250 calorie chocolate bar. So anyway, that's how I'm going to finish off the night. So I'm still 100 calories below the 2,500, which is fine. I just want to make sure at the end of the week it's kind of averaging that amount. So some days might be higher and some days might be lower. As long as I'm getting at least 1,800 calories, that feels safe to me. But I don't want to be shooting for 1,800. I want to be shooting for the 25, but not forcing it if I'm not hungry. So I'm going to finish my night off with this and keep watching the show, and then actually go to bed early tonight because my body needs it to recover because it's still not recovered from yesterday. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it is 10:30 p.m., so I did not go to bed early. I did not go to bed early. And I have a really hard time trying to go to sleep. I am, like, I've been saying it all day, but, like, the neck and this muscle, like, right here, is just hurts so much. Oh! I have chronic pain always. So, like, I'm in no pain is, like, a level 3 on the pain scale. But this is just like how are you going to go to sleep? It's so uncomfortable. You're not going to find a good position to rest in. So I've been struggling to go to sleep. But anyway, I'm going to put here's my macros and all of that on here on the screen. So yeah, I had an allowance of like 2,500 something that I could have ate. I wound up eating 2,381 calories, and I do feel slightly hungry right now. Um, but I'm not going to eat anything else because it's bedtime. And I think it's just the pain. Like, the pain is making me want to just be like, let me distract my mind from the pain. But, anyway. And water wise, I drank 4 of these. So that was 68 ounces. So I did better than yesterday with both, because yesterday I was a little too far under deficit wise, like it was too much of a cut. It was fine for one day, but not sustainable. Um, so today was better because it was only like 120 calories away from the target, um, and it was below. It's okay, it'll be fine. So anyway, and then yesterday I had like 48 ounces, I think. So it was like a third of a gallon. Today I had a little over half a gallon because I had 4 of these suckers, so that's good. We're gonna aim getting the half gallon like minimum each day, and then working our way up to the full gallon because my body does need it, and it actually does help improve ADHD symptoms when you're fully hydrated. Don't ask me why, but it does. I noticed that I have a lot more mental clarity when I have more water. um, and then for my protein, it's still low, but I told y'all in the last video, like, I am training myself to eat more protein, and like more protein when you're eating whole foods means like bigger volume foods. And it's so funny, but I'm a fat girl with a tiny stomach. I get full like that. Like, give me 3 strawberries and I'm like, okay. But then if you give me something that's like not whole food, like a bag of potato chips, and I sit there and eat the whole thing, like just mindlessly. So like, yeah, it's all about the volume. I'm having to train to eat bigger volume, but more quality foods so they're low calorie. Um, but it takes up so much more space, and I'm just not used to it. So we're getting there. But I still got 96 protein, and my like minimum goal that I'm shooting for is 100. The recommendation that I got on the site just for a balanced macro is like 140 or something, or 143. So I'm still like 50 under. So I need to do better with that. And then for the fat, I'm sorry, today was 97. Okay, so I got one more gram of protein than yesterday. The fat was 107, which was slightly above the macro target, but not by too much. And yesterday's was, yesterday's was like a lot lower, so it balanced out. And then the carbs was 263 grams, which was good because it was like very close to the metric, so it was under, but it was under, but it wasn't like severely under. So I pretty much it was fairly balanced for the calories. Yeah, so I need to do a little better on protein for sure, and then water if my trainer is there tomorrow, because I haven't heard from him. I texted. I'll have a much easier time with the water because when I train with him, I drink 2 of these during the 1 hour. And I need it because I'm working hard. But he had a family emergency, and he didn't respond to my text message I sent like an hour and a half ago. So he may not be there tomorrow. So I am going to be adaptable and bring a bailing suit just in case, because there is a swim class at the same time as our workout session. So if he's not there, like, I'll show up a couple minutes early which I need to do my warm-up anyway. But if he's not there, I'll have enough time to change into my swimsuit and then take the hour-long water aerobics class, which I used to go to that same class, so I know everybody. So that is the backup plan. I think it's good to have backup plans, so that you don't just like for instance, yesterday I could have just went, and then when I found out the trainer wasn't there, I'd be like, oh, I did 2.7 miles on the bike during my 12-minute warm-up. I'm going to go home. But I didn't do that. I went to a yoga class, and I'd never had that yoga class before, and I was the only one in there, but I still did it. So, little wins. And yeah, I'm paying for it in the neck and the... Just added this. It's like gummies. My immune system is not great. So these do actually make me feel better sometimes. But I didn't know they had a bunch of calories, so I did not take 3. I only took 2, but it was like 30 calories. Anyway, I'm trying to not get a cold this winter, so hopefully this will help.